Can love survive the deepest betrayal? What would you do if your world crumbled before your eyes? Experience the heartbreaking journey of a fisherman torn apart by the ultimate act of betrayal. This emotional tale will leave you breathless and questioning the true meaning of trust. David lived a quiet life in the quaint coastal town of Willow Creek. The rhythmic lap of waves against the shore was a constant companion to his days, filled with the simple pleasures of a hard-working man. He was a fisherman, his sun-kissed skin and calloused hands a testament to his life at sea. His world revolved around the ocean, his family, and the tight-knit community. Sarah, his wife, was the heart of their home. Her laughter was like the gentle summer breeze, and her love, a warm embrace on a cold winter night. Together, they had built a life filled with love, trust, and shared dreams. Their small cottage, nestled amidst the dunes, was a sanctuary of happiness. But as the seasons changed, so did the undercurrents of their relationship. Sarah began to withdraw, her once radiant smile replaced by a distant gaze. David, oblivious to the storm brewing within their peaceful haven, attributed her change to the usual stresses of life. One evening, while mending his nets, David found a folded piece of paper tucked into his jacket pocket. It was a letter, not addressed to him. Curiosity gnawed at him as he unfolded it. The words that followed sent shockwaves through his being. It was a love letter, filled with promises and affection, addressed to Sarah. The signature was unfamiliar, yet the words carried a familiarity that chilled him to the bone. The man's name was Ethan, a successful businessman who frequently visited Willow Creek. The pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. Sarah's late nights, her secretive phone calls, and her sudden interest in fashion had all been a facade. The woman he had loved and trusted had betrayed him in the most profound way. Heartbroken and enraged, David confronted Sarah. Their once loving home transformed into a battlefield of accusations and denials. Sarah, caught in a web of lies, offered feeble explanations and promises, but her deceit was evident in her eyes. The betrayal was a tidal wave that swept away everything David had held dear. The peaceful rhythm of his life was shattered, replaced by a cacophony of pain and anger. He retreated into himself, a ghost in his own home. The once familiar world of Willow Creek now seemed alien and hostile. Driven by a desperate need for answers, David began to investigate Ethan. He discovered that Ethan was a notorious womanizer, with a trail of broken hearts in his wake. The realization that Sarah was just one of many victims fueled David's anger. A plan began to form in his mind, a plan that was as dangerous as it was desperate. He decided to confront Ethan, to expose his lies and win back what was rightfully his. The journey would be fraught with peril, but the thought of living with the betrayal was an even greater torment. With a heavy heart, David left Willow Creek, his destination the city where Ethan resided. As he drove away, he glanced back at his home, a symbol of everything he had lost. The road ahead was uncertain, but he was determined to find justice, closure, and perhaps a way to rebuild his shattered life. The city of Metropolis was a stark contrast to the peaceful tranquility of Willow Creek. Skyscrapers pierced the sky, their cold metallic facades a world away from David's familiar wooden cottage. The city was a maze of concrete and glass, a place where anonymity was a shield and where secrets thrived in the shadows. Ethan's office towered over the city, a symbol of his success and power. David found himself in the imposing lobby, a small, solitary figure in a world of polished marble and chrome. The receptionist, a woman with a perfectly sculpted appearance, regarded him with a mixture of indifference and suspicion. Gaining access to Ethan's office proved to be more difficult than David had anticipated. Security was tight, and every move was monitored. But David was a man driven by desperation. He resorted to unconventional methods, infiltrating the building disguised as a maintenance worker. Inside Ethan's office, the opulence was overwhelming. The walls were adorned with expensive art, and the desk was a polished mahogany behemoth. David's gaze fell upon a framed photo of Ethan and Sarah, their smiles plastered on their faces, a stark contrast to the pain in David's heart. As he searched the office, he discovered a hidden safe. With trembling hands, he managed to crack the code, revealing a trove of incriminating evidence. There were photographs, financial records, and even a diary detailing Ethan's manipulative schemes. The truth was more sinister than David could have imagined. Ethan was involved in a dangerous network of fraud and corruption. Sarah was merely a pawn in his game, a trophy to be displayed. The realization was a bitter pill to swallow. His wife had not only betrayed his love, but had also been a victim of circumstance. The discovery of Ethan's crimes ignited a fire within David. He was no longer just a heartbroken man seeking revenge. He was a whistleblower, a guardian of justice. He contacted the authorities, providing them with the evidence he had gathered. The ensuing investigation sent shockwaves through the city. Ethan's empire began to crumble, his carefully constructed facade shattered. David became a symbol of hope, a testament to the power of truth and justice. But the path to redemption was not without its challenges. Ethan, cornered and desperate, vowed revenge. David found himself in a dangerous game of cat and mouse, with his life on the line. The once peaceful fisherman was now a man on the run, fighting for his survival and the pursuit of justice. The road ahead was fraught with uncertainty, but David was determined to face whatever challenges came his way. He had lost everything: his home, his love, and his sense of security. But he had also found something within himself, a strength he never knew existed. As he looked out at the city lights, a flicker of hope ignited in his heart. He would rebuild his life, piece by piece. And when the storm had passed, he would emerge stronger, wiser, and ready to face whatever the future held. David became a ghost in the city, a man without a past, living in the shadows of his own making. The pursuit of justice had consumed him, leaving little room for anything else. The days blurred into nights, filled with the constant fear of being discovered. Ethan's network was deeper and more sinister than David had imagined. His tentacles reached into every corner of the city, making it impossible to escape their grasp. Yet, David refused to surrender. He was a man on a mission, driven by a relentless pursuit of truth. He found an unlikely ally in a young, idealistic journalist named Emily. She was drawn to David's story, his resilience in the face of adversity. Together, they pieced together the puzzle, uncovering a web of corruption that extended far beyond Ethan. Their investigation led them to uncover a political conspiracy, a scheme that involved high-ranking officials. The danger escalated with each new revelation. They were followed, threatened, and even attacked. But their determination only grew stronger. The city, once a hostile environment, became a battlefield for truth and justice. With every step, the stakes rose higher. The line between hero and victim blurred as David found himself in a world where morality was a luxury and survival was the ultimate goal. The weight of the world seemed to rest on his shoulders, but he refused to buckle under the pressure. Their investigation led them to a secluded island, a secret hideout for the mastermind behind the conspiracy. It was a final showdown, a battle for the soul of the city. As they stepped onto the island, they knew there was no turning back. The island was a fortress of darkness, a place where secrets were buried and truths were silenced. The confrontation with the mastermind was inevitable. It was a battle of wits, courage, and survival. The fate of the city rested on their shoulders. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows over the island, the final confrontation unfolded. It was a battle for the soul of the city, a fight for justice and redemption. The outcome would determine not only their fate, but the future of countless others. The story reached its climax as the truth was finally revealed, the mastermind brought to justice, and the city liberated from the shadows of corruption. David and Emily emerged from the ordeal, scarred but unbroken. They had faced their fears, confronted evil, and emerged as beacons of hope. As they stood on the shore, watching the sun paint the sky with hues of orange and purple, they realized that they had found something more precious than revenge. A bond forged in fire, a partnership built on trust and shared sacrifice. The road ahead would be challenging, but they faced it together, their hearts filled with hope and the promise of a new beginning. The city had been cleansed, and they were its heroes, their story a testament to the enduring power of human spirit. Don't miss out on this gripping tale. Watch now and discover the shocking twist that will leave you questioning everything about love and trust. Like, share, and subscribe for more heart-pounding stories.